What's up, War Report family? I'm your host, Caesar Walker, and as you can see, the guys are all here, and we got a great show lined up for you tonight. Tonight, we're discussing Auburn support staff. We're talking Derrick Mason, and we got a lot of thoughts on this, and I'm pretty sure you guys do as well. So let's not waste no further time. Without further ado, start the war room. War Eagle and happy hump day. Thank you guys for tuning in to the latest and greatest installment of the War Room. Guys, do us a quick favor, smash that like button, drop a comment in the chat. Some of y'all already know what to do. Please hit us with a War Eagle. Listen, if you're not part of the Auburn family or you're new to our live streams, drop your location. Let us know your city and state. We want to know where you're from. Either way, you need to be commenting. Fellas,
yeah,
how we doing?
Well, it's Wednesday. We're one Wednesday closer to spring practices, baby.
Less than 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, at this point, the news is about as dry as it can get, but there's no off season at the War Report. We're gonna make this thing work, and we're gonna start off by talking about this coaching staff.
Whether it's something to talk about or
not. I'll wait for somebody to make a Bo Nix joke in the comments.
Right.
Nothing to talk about. Mike's going to talk about Bo Nix.
Right.
Oh,
so
man.
Listen.
It was Bo's birthday the other day.
Happy birthday, Bo.
Yeah. Hey, Chris McGuire. Woo.
Shout out, man.
Shout out.
Man.
We got a new member.
Welcome.
Welcome to the War Report family.
Oh, get ready for a wild ride, Chris.
Yes. So listen, guys, Bryan Harsin has completed his staff. And what has come out recently is his talks about the support staff, typically, more specifically, the actual analyst, the off-field staff. A lot of guys that we've seen, we don't really know who they are, but what stands out to me is the level of experience with some of these names. I believe one of the names, I can't pronounce one of the guys' names, but Eric Kiesau, and I think he had like 5 years OC experience. I think he's coached like Fresno. He had been an OC at Washington State. You know what?
Oh, man.
You know what?
Cazenave says Bo overthrew his birthday celebrating today. Happy birthday, Bo Nix, man. We hope you
man, you are. I'm gonna be nice to Bo. I thought that was Uzi for a second because usually he's the one. Rick done took the crown for the night.
I know, right?
Appreciate the super chat there, Cleveland Brown. Recent
Cleveland.
follower from JG Tate's Brain Drain. What up, JG?
Hey,
Nice.
Appreciate that, man. Continue to tune in. We appreciate you coming through to support, man. Very much.
Shout out
appreciate
JG Tate as well.
Yeah, we love JG. We love JG.
So, guys, what are your thoughts about this support staff?
I think this is very different from what we've been accustomed to, right?
Yeah.
Not hiring former players. Not hiring, guys that, just people who aren't on the come up right now, like people who've actually done something, accomplished something from a coaching perspective, taking analyst jobs at Auburn. If they're any good, this will be a pit stop to their next job. But I like it. I think a couple of those guys work with quarterbacks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Two of them are actual coordinators and quarterback coaches.
Yeah. So that's significant. It seems like he's brought in tons of help in terms of developing a QB, which is my bugaboo. So, hey, listen, go. I'm all about it. I really like the things that he's doing. I don't care if these guys have coached in the SEC or not. Irrelevant. Either you can coach a guy to throw a football or you can't, right?
Yeah.
So,
you're right.
I'm ready to see what they can do.
You know, there is one holdover. I think Kendall Simmons, who actually played at Auburn in the early 2000s. He's a holdover from Malzahn's staff. But other than that, everyone else is new. And I like it. I like it. And I thought it was cool at one point when Malzahn was bringing in high school coaches, giving them opportunities. But then I looked across the state and saw what Saban was doing.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, all right, this is a difference. That's a little different what they're doing over here. And it looks like we're heading in a similar direction with bringing on guys who've actually coached on the field. So what we got here. I go for AU Tiger says someone mentioned about how former players don't really come back after they leave Auburn. What do you guys attribute that to? And what can this staff do? What can this staff do to make kind of those relationships better?
Well, we talked about that. We've talked about that with some of those players, right? Unless your name was Cam Newton or you played directly for him, Gus didn't invite he wasn't very open. Shout out Ted Dickerson. Thanks for joining the fam. He wasn't very open to letting players come back and be a part of the program. I mean, we heard a story about a certain wide receiver who was on campus getting his master's, wanted to just go watch practice, and he couldn't. I mean, that's unheard of. I remember, the old heads coming through all the time when I was there filming practice. It was a thing. Tuberville welcomed back former players. But look at those guys. Look how tight and how close those guys are in their post-playing career, man. Like, great question.
We've already seen the pivot from that with the current staff.
Yeah, for sure.
There's pictures of Harsin having players in the facility already. They're doing virtual. They have a virtual like once per month or something like that. They've got a thing where they're allowing the players to come in.
Hey,
Steve, appreciate you. Steve been on for a minute, man. We appreciate you going and hitting that join. But
yes, sir.
Former players, he's inviting them to be a part of this experience. I think he understands that in order to build a program that kids who want to go to the league are going to be proud to come to, he needs to show that Auburn has put players in the NFL, right? And so he's trying to get them involved. We talked to King. If you guys watch the show, King Dunlap's a good friend of the War Report. Shout out to King if you happen to be watching tonight. King can attest to the fact that it's a different feel as a former Auburn player being involved with what the current administration is doing. So, we can already see a pivot in how this staff wants to embrace the former players and just kind of bring that family feel, that family reunion type situation back to the playing. So I love it.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah. So, and again, I just think it's good for the morale. You know what I mean? Is if these kids, if we're talking about getting these kids to the next level, then it's important that you bring guys into your program who are at the next level, who can basically give you a different perspective from what the coaches are giving you. Right. So I like what Harsin is like. Again, Harsin has been doing a lot of the right things up until spring practice. So I'm happy to see it.
Yeah. Listen, Ike Jones says all the time, quit thinking with your feelings and watch the tape. That's what analysts do. They watch the tape, right? They break it down. They find patterns. They notice things. They help the coaches get prepared with a game plan, right? These analysts are super important positions. It's like having a passing game coordinator, right? Somebody who is, got tunnel vision on a thing, and can scheme and looks at the defense in a certain way and designs plays around that, right? Like, so, look what Joe Brady did. I mean, there was a passing game coordinator, but it's kind of like an analyst position. These analysts are super important. So
and it's just, like you said, it's looking at it's giving someone a very specific thing to focus on to help your staff, your coordinators that are, your defensive coordinators, your linebacker coach, whatever.
Appreciate that.
You're the ones that are helping to get those films chopped down prior to, going in and doing film study. You're the one, the analysts are the ones who are trying to look for whatever the patterns exist that you all are doing, even analyzing your own patterns, right? Looking at what we're doing offensively and saying, hey, coach, we kind of have a tendency to do this on first down. We probably want to go away from that, right? Yeah. If we're going to break tendency, here's what our tendencies are. So you have people who are dedicated to come in and analyze your stuff the way that you would want the opponents to do. So just on an op strategy, like if what do you think that they're going to do to try to attack us based upon looking at our film, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to analyze that from both sides. And then you've got people who, this is the thing I think I love the most. We might have talked about, I don't remember which of the previous shows we talked about. I love the fact that they have staff that are going to be strictly focused on the recruiting portion. So like they've got people that all they're doing is going and looking at high school kids, looking at JUCO kids. Like they're not worried about what we're doing on a game to game basis. It's just, okay, I know we need to fill these holes because we've got these kids that are likely going to be leaving in the draft. We got these kids that are going to be leaving due to graduation. What holes do we need to fill? Go out there and find those guys all over the country. Right, we're just going to go out there. We're going to go get the best talent, and I need my linebacker coach not out here on the road trying to recruit. I need him preparing for Georgia next week. Right. So I love that.
Yeah,
and you know, the director of recruiting, like one of his responsibilities is roster management, right? So we're in a recruiting year. We're targeting our specific needs. We're not, you know, moving forward. Hopefully, we're not in a situation where we're low on left tackles or right tackles, right? Like we're addressing needs, and you got guys whose sole purpose is to target those areas of need at different position groups. Right. So Caveman Life Coach says running a modern program is all about administration, and administration is all about delegation. That appears to be one area where Harsin is a big improvement over Gus. Gus hated to delegate. It's hard to disagree with that.
Yeah, he was a micromanager. He was a micromanager. And, you know, to Ike's point about how you have analysts doing certain things, like coaches do the obvious job, right? Call plays. They do their hands-on with players. They do certain things, right? The minutia, you need good people to handle the minutia of the things that need to be done, right? Yeah. So, you know, NFL teams send scouts out, right, to look at college players. Shout out Montoya Jackson, you remember the War Report. Appreciate you. You know, they send scouts out, right? Like, you know, you send these guys out on the recruiting trail. You know, you think that Gene Chizik traveled to Blinn to see Cam play? No, he didn't. They sent some scouts first, and then they sent some coaches, right? And then they got them.
But so
right?
So that's actually a good like. So this is what's going to be the difference, right? So it was pretty well known that the person who went to go watch John Franklin III and scout him was what's the kid's name that used to be the offensive coordinator?
Rhett
Lashley.
Rhett Lashley, right? He's the offensive coordinator. He's taking recruiting trips to go see a kid play at junior college. Why? Why is your offensive coordinator doing that?
Right.
He needs to be figuring out how we're going to get better on offense. As detail oriented as Gus is, he was skipping over steps as a head coach. He was just focused. He was solely focused on making sure that this offense works like this well-oiled machine. So much so that he didn't want anybody on the defense in practice disrupting their ability to run plays successfully. So much so that he didn't want to relinquish offensive play calling duty during the game. So much so that he didn't build a staff that was equipped well enough to be able to go out and not have to, you know, like, again, Rhett Lashley should not be. If I was Rhett Lashley, I would have left too. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's like, I'm not growing in this position. I'm doing the job of an analyst. I'm not calling plays, and I'm on the road doing recruiting trips. I need to go somewhere where I can grow in my career, and that's exactly what he did.
And getting the blame for the offensive failures and shortcomings.
Yeah, and then getting scapegoated, right? Yeah. So I mean. Yeah, so he's putting together an impressive, I think, so far, staff on paper, right? It seems like that, you know, these smaller kind of bricks in the foundation, Harsin is paying attention to. He, you know, and he's just as detailed. I think he's just as detailed, just in a different way. But he clearly knows how to delegate, and I really think that that's going to help us moving forward when you talk about when we start getting into development. To the development piece, right? So, you know, you've got to come up with a plan. Your strength and conditioning coach has to get everybody ready for their job. Do your job. You can't do that. Let's hit the weight room. And then after that, you know, everybody else has to keep doing their job through the season. Right. But your head coach, man, can be an offensive guru. The offensive head coaches, right? Think about this. The offensive head coaches that have been good on the college football level have all mostly had coordinators, offensive coordinators under them that have taken jobs elsewhere but they still keep their offensive identity even after that coordinator leaves. How many times have we tried to change our offensive identity in the last 8 years?
Right.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. Guys like Lincoln Riley, right, who coached under Stoops, or what's the guy, Ryan Day at Ohio State. Urban left. They didn't lose their offensive identity at all.
Right.
As a matter of fact, they just kept it pushing.
Right.
So they had a much better system than we did. And a lot of that is about those little support roles that support these coaches as well.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna do the super chat real quick. Appreciate you very much, Rick, for this. Specialization is even more important. Like the pros, the transfer portal and scholarship limits require a different talent management approach.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Agree with
Great
that.
comment.
But here's the thing that frustrates me about our staff in the past, right, is that we didn't feel as if they had the ability to grow. Like, why are guys who are former head coaches going to Alabama to be analysts? Right. Think about that for a second. Like, they're not going to Alabama to get coordinator roles. They're going over there just to they want to understand. That's where you groom people, and we weren't putting people in the position to be groomed. Again, I love the fact that he wanted to give some roles to former high school folks, because he's a former high school coach, right? He's trying to give shots to other people and get them some chops so that they can go out there and get better jobs.
It's like giving back.
You've got to get the best people for your program at the same time. And I just think that to his own detriment, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, Gus thought with his heart a little bit too much sometimes, which is why a lot of the former players love him, right? He was loyal to them even if they weren't playing great. Hey, you're going to get another shot. He thought with his heart a little bit too much when it came to personnel decisions, when it came to player decisions. And he thought with his head way too much when it came to administrative decisions. And that just is not a good mix for a top program. I just don't feel like Nick Saban is out here. You think Nick Saban is thinking with his heart when he yanks Jalen Hurts out of the national championship game?
Nope.
No. He's thinking we need to win this ball game. Jalen's not playing well in the first half. If his heart had led him to that decision, Jalen would have finished that game. Maybe he finishes great. Maybe he doesn't. But hey, listen, we got to get somebody else in here that's going to get us an opportunity to win. Bottom line.
Right. So. And you got to be able to check your ego at the door. And that's one of the things that Gus was not able to do, and caused him to butt heads with certain people. Yeah. Not naming no names, but we've seen when people would challenge or question something that Gus was doing, it didn't work out well. So it was either Gus's way. So reading the super chat right here, on behalf of my homie Chris Terrain, we will be able to hold on. Will we be able to hold on to 5-star recruits? Because we know Gus couldn't do that. That remains.
Hold on to? What do you mean? Or just get some?
That remains to be seen.
I think the answer to that is going to be, if that recruit fits our system, absolutely yes, because they're going to have an opportunity to play and develop, right?
Yeah.
There's literally no reason as a 5-star you shouldn't be able. Yeah, I guess we should have to drink on that. There's no reason as a 5-star you shouldn't be able to come in and get playing time and get better if you're a good fit. So if we are doing our job up front with all these analysts that we've got out here, making sure that we're bringing in the right talent, and that's a 5-star talent, and they're able to land that guy, no reason why he shouldn't be able to stay. Absolutely none. Because you're building the kind of program that kids want to come play for. They're going to utilize their skill set, and you're going to be winning ball games, because if you're getting top talent and you're retaining top talent, you're winning. Right.
And that's just and your competition can't negatively recruit against you. And that's where we were losing some of these recruiting battles, because other teams can say, hey, you're a receiver. Do you really want to go to Auburn?
Right.
We're going to throw you the ball.
And they'll be right.
Right.
And they'll beat us on the field.
So again, that's it. To Ike's point, if you're doing those things, you're not losing targets and people who are interested in your program, because the things that people are saying about your program isn't true.
Yeah. What's interesting is JG said that he had somebody come on the drain, right? And the guy said, don't you think that Saban has to? I just think that Saban has to cheat more than most. Alabama cheats more than most. And he responded to him and said, the way they're winning, I think they cheat less than anybody because of this right here.
Right.
Saban just Saban just says check the weight.
Right.
Yeah.
We got it up over here. So like I don't know, like that's the greatest recruiting pitch ever, if you ask me.
And
Just the
as far
rings.
as
Just bring out the
countering that,
rings.
Now-
I don't. So here's the thing. Hold on. I don't think you can counter that. Like you can't. You cannot counter the success, the professional success of the players that have gone through there, the on the field success against everybody except for a handful every now and then of other teams. So what you have to instead get is players who you can say, what I want is what you have to offer as a player. And I want you more than anybody else wants you. Sure, you could go there, and I believe you will succeed because you are talented, and I believe in you. But I want you more than they want you, which is that's the only thing that you could question. You could make them more of a priority than any other team could make them. You could say, listen, they've got guys. I'm sure you'd be great anywhere you go. We need you here because we want to be great, and you're how we be great.
Right.
And that's the sell, that's the pitch, and you follow through on those promises by getting that guy the proper coaching, by that turning into him getting better each year, and by that guy getting to the league. You do it, you start with the first season, those first recruits you get, you make those pitches, you succeed in those pitches, the on-field success follows, and then you can consistently somewhat compete with Alabama.
Yeah, I like that. I like that as a counter, right? We want you more. And they're telling you that they could win, but hey, you can go over there and be buried on the depth chart if you want to. We got a good system as well, and you can play now, and we want you to play more than he does.
Yeah, I mean, Saban essentially says that's what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you if you go to Alabama, you might not have a chance to start, and he's saying that is essentially telling a recruit Bama's better than us, and so if you're going to go over there, you know that you're going to a better team. And he's like, I don't know what else to tell you about that. So the only way you out recruit that is to beat them. You go out there on the field and you prove I can put a team that can beat them. Now, do you want to play for them or do you want to go out there and shake the world up?
Yeah.
We can either be the giant or we can be David.
Or we can slay the giant.
Yeah.
Right.
Facts.
Love that. I love that as a recruiting pitch. They should hire you.
Listen, I'm here.
I'm sure they got guys.
Hey, Harsin, I'm here.
You know
recruiting pitch coordinator. I love that.
Show a good time. Take out.
Oh no, right?
It's definitely not McDonald's though. We found that out.
Yeah.
The elect endurance says Coach Harsin will bring in top talent. This season will be the stepping stone. If Gus can be Saban or beat Saban, I'm assuming with little talent and motivation of the team as a whole, who knows how far they can go. Listen.
So here's the thing. Go ahead, Caesar. My bad.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I just don't like the statement of little motivation. Like, it's clear players loved Gus, right? Like, I just don't know that it's not evident that guys like playing for Gus Malzahn. I just think he frustrated some guys. And when you have one of the things about any organization, right, whether it's a company, whether it's a family, whether it is a football team, is that the voices that come out of whatever happens behind the closed doors need to be unifying voices. And I don't think that Gus had that, right? Like he had voices that seemed like they were coming from everywhere, and the kids were forced to pick sides even before. This is before we even found out that there's a secret coup going on to get him out of the door. It just felt as if there was no unity in the voice that was coming from the coaching staff. And when you have that, then you have kids who are having varying levels of motivation, right? Like, not necessarily motivation to go out there and play hard, but like they don't understand what their role is. Like, what is my role on this team? That's why you get kids who transfer out, because it's like, I don't know what my role is for this team. I came in, they told me my role was going to be this, but that's not quite how it stacks up. And so going out there and beating Alabama, I just think that, kids have a ton of pride. They want to go out there and play ball, right? And even though we didn't put them in the best position to win, they found ways to win. And I don't know that any of that can be attributed to Gus other than he has the heart of some of those kids and more power to him. But we definitely, we need to figure out, and I think Bryan Harsin is trying to make sure that whatever the voice is that he wants to portray to that team and externally to the rest of the world everybody is doing the exact same thing, right? Which, we've talked about this. That's why he had to clean house. He had to get rid of everybody that was out there and make sure everybody who he brought in was bought into the system that he wanted to have from a coaching staff perspective. Yeah. And, if you weren't going to do that, you can't be the coach here, no matter how good you are, right? Like, he knew Tracy Rocker, his heart wasn't there to coach, and he's like, listen, you got an opportunity to go. Have fun. I'm not even mad at you. Listen, go get your money. We'll figure it out, right? But I don't need anybody with one foot out of the door here. I need you to at least commit to me for a couple years. You can't do that. You can't coach here.
Right. Yeah. Steven's got here, way off topic, but just saw where Marcus Davis was hired as the wide receiver coach at Hawaii. Marcus Davis was a receiver at Auburn, I think, during the 2015. I think that's when he was last at Auburn. Yeah. So War Eagle to him, man. I hope he does well. That's not a bad gig. To coach football and do what you love in Hawaii, one of the most beautiful places.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, can't beat that. War Eagle to him. We wish him well.
Yeah, I saw that earlier today.
Caveman Life Coach says Gus brought in more talent than any Auburn coach in history.
He also lost more talent.
He lost more talent than any coach.
The key word here is brought in.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. We don't want to talk about what went out. Right. 18
right.
Kids out of Florida. 10 of them did not finish their career at Auburn. 18 kids since 2016. Right?
Yeah.
The Nate Craigs, it baffles me that he's going down there now, but a lot of kids who were just highly recruited. Byron Cowart, the number 1 overall recruit. I just think, and then credit some of this recruiting class even is still credit to Gus.
Yeah.
He got Demetrius Davis on the list. Max Preps ranks Davis as the 20th overall highest QB in the last 20 years. That's Gus.
Yeah.
Gus somehow convinced this kid to come here. He's the most decorated quarterback in Texas history.
We know Gus can recruit well. Like, for whatever his faults are, recruiting was not one of them. Now, we can talk about his ability to, properly determine whether or not they were whether or not they were good talent for Auburn, whether or not, he was able to identify like the right fits. But as far as being able to convince guys that were high in the rankings to come to Auburn, he was doing that well. Problem is, they weren't coming. Can you disagree when he stayed with, I think his lowest recruiting class was 12th?
12th.
Okay. So what, with the amount of talent that
Scorpio
went out
in the squad
before they made meaningful contributions to the team, I feel like we need to somehow, it's not an official score, we need to average in how many of those players didn't actually help us here. That means
I agree. We're making the same point. I'm saying he can convince kids to come to school here. He can't keep them here though.
So on top of that though, how many quarterbacks did we recruit and miss on in the last 4 years since he kind of got the rep after Jeremy Johnson and Sean White? His rep as a quarterback developer or coach was damaged, and then he missed frequently on quarterbacks. He missed frequently.
But that's misevaluation a lot more than it is, I think, his inability to close. I just don't know. I just think he just was guessing wrong on quarterbacks a lot.
The fact that
and his approach recruiting wise, like he would get in on these guys too late, like O-line guys. Like, so these quarterbacks, they're being recruited at the 9th grade, 10th grade. So Gus didn't start going after some of these kids until 11th grade, almost senior year. They already know where they want to go. So that was another reason why Gus was missing out on some of these quarterbacks. It's just he just had a bad approach to getting some of the top tier talent and kids.
But
he was good. He got Gatewood hella early, and Gatewood ended up being. I still don't know.
That's evaluation to me too. Like
that's another.
Listen, again, I don't try to purport myself as some guru when it comes to football. I was never sold on Gatewood's tape. What I'm trusting is you guys saw something I didn't see, so maybe he's gonna come out here and light it up, right? But then he got in the game, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, he can run, but can he actually throw the ball? And Bo Nix playing and people argue with me about whether or not Bo Nix had a good freshman year. I don't care that he got SEC Freshman of the Year. I still say that his freshman year was not great.
Subpar.
Like it was very average even for a freshman quarterback starting in the SEC. We've seen freshman quarterbacks in the SEC play better than Bo Nix did, so save me he's a freshman stuff. But anyway, outside of that, you can't tell me Bo Nix playing that way doesn't deserve. Yeah, that wasn't Mike this time. That was me. You can't tell me Bo Nix playing that inconsistently didn't warrant the opportunity for Joey Gatewood to come and get some snaps, unless Joey just can't throw the ball.
Right. Okay. So that goes back to my point about, again, I'm constantly arguing with people about the backup and why this quarterback competition this spring is so important. Even if the incumbent keeps the job, right? You want him to barely have won it because the backup was just that good.
Always. Ted Dickerson, listen, I want to read this. Gus Malzahn, he brought in Sean White and passed on Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Listen, no. Let me correct that. Lamar Jackson's freshman year was 2015. We saw him
against us.
Right. We played him in the opening game. Their starting quarterback was actually wide receiver, and he ended up moving to wide receiver in the pros as well. They brought in Lamar Jackson for a quarter and a half. Yeah, he was scary.
Yeah, we watched it in person. We were sitting next to Louisville fans. I remember turning on the other side of Caesar and being like, who's that? I forgot what number he wore in college, but I was like, who's that number? Yeah, that guy is crazy good.
Did he start that game?
No, he didn't.
He came in late and start. Yeah.
It was Bonifant. I think it was the something like that.
Bonifant. You're right.
Bonifant is what his name
So
was.
here's the thing, though. If we remember correctly, I want y'all to remember this. Lamar Jackson was getting plenty of looks from big schools as a wide receiver. They wanted him to move. We offered him late as a wide receiver. Louisville was one of the few places that wanted to let him play quarterback. Do you know who we recruited in 2015 instead of letting Lamar Jackson play quarterback at Auburn University? Tyler Queen.
That's right.
How did that work out?
Right.
Never saw the field.
Tyler Queen never played one meaningful snap for Auburn University, but for some reason, our guys saw Lamar Jackson, who honestly, I saw a little tape. He looked exactly like he did in college, in high school. Exactly. So he did not lose a step. He did not have to suddenly, the game was too fast for him. No. The guy he was in college was the guy he was in high school. So they saw
is the guy that he is in the NFL with a little bit better passing ability because he was with a coach that developed him as a quarterback in his college years.
Yeah.
Every last bit of electricity that Lamar Jackson possessed in college and now in the pros, he had when they saw his tape. He had it at camps, and they said, "Nah, Tyler Queen's my guy."
Yeah,
I'm going to get to the super chat in a second. Go ahead.
What's so blasphemous is that Gus had the system for Lamar. Like I could see if you're running an I formation, you know what I'm saying? I could see if you wanted your quarterback, you was running an offense. Like just a few years prior, you had the prototype of
Nick Marshall, and you got a guy who looks like Nick Marshall with a little bit better passing ability because he actually played quarterback in high school, and you passed on him. That is a head scratcher. But I'm gonna get to the super chat in a second. But I was watching another YouTube channel. I can't remember which one, but they were telling a story about Lamar Jackson coming to one of the camps when he was in high school. And just how when he would come in, as soon as he walked in there, everybody was just like in awe. Like his aura just looked like he was finna go out there and cut up. And like before he checked in on one of the plays, he was talking about something that's happening in the game. He's like, "Man, I'm finna go out there and scope." At first play, he went out there and scored. Like he was just like, I'm about to get in and I'm gonna go score.
Right.
He got the ball and he went. Like, that was just the kind of player he was coming out of high school. How do you not get that guy and put him on your team?
Right.
That means that you're not evaluating properly. I'm sorry. But anyway.
The minute I heard that story about Lamar Jackson, us passing on him or wanting him to play wide receiver and instead getting Tyler Queen, I was ready for him to go. That was it. I've been get Gus out of here since 2017. And then at the end of the season, it was like, all right, I see why y'all have. I still wanted him to go. That's a 3-year, that's a 2015, 2016, 2017 of Lamar Jackson. Year 2, the light flipped on for him. What does 2016 look like if we have a elevated Lamar Jackson?
Or 2017.
But honestly, here's the thing. That was a better situation for Lamar when it comes down to it.
It
He
was.
wouldn't have been
Right.
developed as a QB here.
Right.
Right, yeah. He would have gone down on a long list of quarterbacks who just never saw their athletic potential, right?
But also, I do think he was one of the rare cases. In all cases of the guys who would have made a huge difference for us if they had come or if they had stayed, I do think because of the coaching staff here, it is better for them that they went elsewhere.
Yeah,
But
you know what's
It
interesting
would
is
have been better if they had come here.
with all these quarterbacks that almost came to Auburn, like Russell Wilson, it was between us and Wisconsin in his senior year.
Yeah.
Right? He would have fallen up Cam. You know, our offensive line was kind of a mess. He saw that they had the more established. He won a Rose
we
Bowl.
lost a lot of people. We lost a
You
lot.
see,
of
he's trying to leave Seattle right now because he don't like the way the offensive line's blocking. Russell Wilson's like, I'm not
Yeah, it
playing
would've been
somewhere with a trash
terrible for him.
offensive line.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You'd have
Yeah.
gone to Wisconsin.
But yeah, we've had some epic almost quarterbacks at Auburn that just have gone on to do great things. I mean, I just named 2 Super Bowl winners, or 2 Super Bowl. They made it. Lamar made it. So like,
Lamar hasn't been to a Super Bowl.
Lamar hasn't made it.
Okay, they came up one short, didn't they?
Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he-
he won an MVP,
Yeah.
Yeah.
NFL MVP, the Super
That's
Bowl
true.
winner.
Not
Yeah,
rookie
so-
of the year, MVP. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of like, man, like what's going on with the talent evaluation? So bringing this full circle back to this staff, right? With the kids that they're offering now, early, they've made 2022. They made 2022 a priority immediately. They spent a month trying to like close out this class, right? They got lucky in the McDonald's giveaway sweepstakes at Tennessee. You know, and
Appreciate that, Dylan Brooks. We thank you very much.
Thank you, Dylan. Welcome.
your service.
You know, and they can win this year. I think that there's so much talent on this team, so much raw, underdeveloped talent or undeveloped talent that Harsin can come in and he can get some wins in year 1 and then do what B's talking about in terms of your recruiting pitch. Look what I did in year 1. Walked into the SEC, smashed them up, either made a freshman a star or I was the guy who fixed Bo Nix. Either one of those is a fairy tale story for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I fixed him. You know,
All right, let's get to this super chat real quick. I had it up here forever and we just never talked about it. Off topic, Chandler Byram says, what do you think of JJ Pegues' role in the new offense? Listen, Facts or Nah is coming up Friday. We talk about this a little bit. I'm gonna punt on that just because we have something coming up, Facts or Nah, on Friday. But if you are a member that is live right now, you can go ahead and check out that Facts or Nah. That is up right now. We had a couple other ones coming here. We need good backup QB. Yeah, definitely.
Excellent name.
We need a good starting QB and we need good backup QB.
Yeah,
for sure. And then Brad Hughes, best decision in content on the internet. Appreciate that very much, Brad. Best decision that you made joining us. We appreciate it very much, sir.
Yeah, I went over to the bunker just to kind of see what was going on over there. And there was some interesting discussion going on in there. And I can tell you that they've got some really analytical fans in there. But I got to say, I like our listeners too. You guys, Ed Darby watching tonight? I haven't seen Ed yet.
I thought I saw him earlier. Maybe it was just on a comment from
Ed jumped on to Chop It Up with the Pro segment, which I will plug right now, and just had us going, man, with the analysis and kind of the breakdowns of what's going on. I love that you guys are live in the comment sections. So that being said, we are offering memberships. So if you see some people signing up, you can too. We have a Chop It Up with the Pro coming with Devin Aroma Shadu next Thursday, March 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be controlling the video. Isaac and Devin will be chopping up video on the one after that. On this one, it'll just be a Q&A. But yes, please hop over and join. If you're on an iPhone, you have to do it from a computer. If you're on a Droid, you can join straight from your phone and become an insider. Our merch store is up. Grab your hoodies, shirts, hats, and cups. Get them while they last. It's almost not hoodie season anymore, so just make sure you get that. If you sign up for our email list, we are offering discounts on merchandise. So go to the About section on our channel and sign up for that email list so we can email you a discount code. I mentioned the Chop It Up with a Pro, so I'm going to play this for you guys right quick.
my name is Devin Aroma Shadu.
I'm Courtney Taylor. Hey, this is Jairus McIntyre.
Hey, my name is Ben Grubbs.
This is King Dunlap.
This is Chris Todd.
And you are rocking with the War Report.
And you are rocking with the War Report.
And you're rocking with the War Report.
You are now rocking with the War Report, baby.
And you are now rocking with the War Report.
You are rocking with the War Report on YouTube.
Let's chop it up with a pro, become an insider so you can chop it up with us. This month will be the last month that we open that up for everybody to view. Only insiders are allowed to comment. Eventually, it will be only insiders watching. So we want you guys to get a little taste of that. It's going to be fun. If you guys haven't seen I go at it on this film, it's a wonder to watch. So we do want you guys to sign up. And also, I will say in that promo, Chris Todd is a thug, just in case you guys didn't know. He wanted to let y'all know that you are now rocking with the War Report. He's a real one. So
ING, not IN. ING.
Yeah. So
yeah, shout out to Alabama Prep. Hey guys, it's been a while. Hope you're good. We haven't heard from you in a minute, man. Glad to hear from you. Hope you well, bro. Guys, let's stay in the theme of coaching staff. You know, there was a 247 article that came out recently listing the coordinator hires as well as the head coaching hires. Guess who, from a coordinator standpoint, came in at number 4? That would be Derrick Mason at Auburn. And of course, people tout his experience at Stanford, the good job he did there. The fact that he's familiar with the SEC, being at Vanderbilt, even though he didn't have the success he had hoped, he knows the landscape better than Harsin and can help him get acclimated to the SEC. So, guys, what are your thoughts about just Derrick Mason as a whole and how people look at the hire that Harsin made for defensive coordinator? I'll start with you, B.
I mean, Mason was a really big get, number one, because I think we were all nervous about the changeover from the Gus era. If Steele wasn't going to be here, Steele, like that was it. The defense, for all of his backstabbing, he had the defense in line. We were a little short in a couple places, middle linebacker, defensive tackle, and really defensive line. But I don't know who to attribute that to now, because the head coach has a lot to do with how you allocate resources for recruiting as well. Shout out to Corey. Thank you for that. So, but if we were stocked, we were good on defense. And that was beautiful. We were putting guys from 3 stars to the NFL on defense. That's beautiful. I love to see that. Getting Derrick Mason instantly eased my stress as far as, are we going to have to completely start over on defense? It's like, oh, we got that guy. Like you said, the experience coming from head coach to defensive coordinator, being able to get somebody who comes from head coach to defensive coordinator. I mean, Derrick Mason could have taken some time off. Right. He came here. Yeah. Harsin recruited Mason. And that's a win. That's a win that we needed. Somebody high energy.
Hey.
It was just really good to see us start building the staff with that hire. Like, that was huge for me. And I do think it was top 5. I hadn't checked all of them across the country or the conference, but that was a really big hire, and I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, man. So appreciate y'all with the super chats, man. Corey Weber, Chris Vincent, Coach C4. Appreciate you coming in.
Yes, man. Appreciate the support.
Definitely agree with everything B. Will just said as far as Derrick Mason. He gave some stability to what we knew was a strength before, and we were hoping was going to continue to be the strength, and that is quality defensive play. You know, it's yet to be seen what this staff is going to do from a recruiting perspective to make sure that our defense has got the talent there. But I have absolutely no doubt. If you look at Derrick Mason's track record of being able to take just the same talent a previous year and have them perform better the next year, I have absolutely no doubt. Shout out to you, Johnny B. Good.
Johnny B. Good.
Appreciate it. That Derrick Mason's going to have us in a position where we're going to be playing well. And his strength has been making sure that secondary is aligned. If there was anything that was a problem for our secondary last year, it was just being assignment sound in the back end, specifically in the safety position. I think Derrick Mason's going to have those guys really paying attention to detail, looking at that tape. Zach Etheridge is going to be back there coaching those DBs up as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what this defense is going to do under him, man. Like, he's got fire. He understands what he's doing in the SEC. I just don't know if there was only one other person who I would have been as excited to see as a defensive coordinator, even though he has no head coach, or excuse me, no D coordinator. DeMario Nettles, appreciate that, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
Even though he has no experience as a D coordinator, there's only one other person who I would have loved to seen in that spot, and that's T-Rob. He's the only other person I'd have been like, oh yeah, I'd have been excited about T-Rob, because I feel like he is just he deserves that spot. He's been up underneath one of the best defensive minds. You can say what you want to about his head coaching ability, but he's been up underneath one of the best defensive minds there is in Muschamp.
Muschamp knows defense. He knows defense.
And T-Rob has been getting those DBs right with him every year as up underneath him as a D coordinator most recently. So T-Rob is the only other person I would have been as excited to see, but definitely love Derrick Mason as a hire.
Yeah. Listen, he went from Stanford to Vanderbilt, and nobody questioned, even though that's a hard place to win, nobody questioned that they clearly took steps in development on defense. I mean, it was clear what his impact was as a head coach on the defensive side of the football with that team. So that's what I'm excited about. He's proven, and in our conference. Right. He's proven in our conference. So with this kid that's coming in, Brooks, we did a faction now where we asked, is he going to burn his red shirt in 2021? I think with a guy like Mason, especially as much as we need pass rushers, right? He's gonna flourish in this kind of defense. Brooks is he's like the kind of guy that he's got enough speed to be kind of a linebacker and hybrid type. And he can wreck shop in a defense like Mason's. Pass rush has been our bugaboo. As good as some of these defenses has been, we have not generated a great pass rush. So we've needed our corners to be all world. With no pass rush. And now, with some pass rush, this could be a shutdown defense. If our secondary plays the way they have been playing, and we can generate a pass rush, watch
it's
out.
Gonna be scary, man.
Yeah,
if you pair a pass rush with the way that the aggression and the I just look at the way Roger McCreary plays on the outside. He's a very physical and aggressive corner. If you look at the way Jalen Simpson was playing on the outside, he's a physical and aggressive corner. We've got Drashawn Miller that's coming in, and he was already doing pass breaks up and everything at West Virginia. Like, you've got those type of guys on the back end. You've got a Smoke Monday who's going to be patrolling the back end, who has shown to be opportunistic if you give him an opportunity to pick off an errant pass. You have that kind of stuff. You couple that with just a small amount of pass rush. Like, it don't have to be a lot. Just every now and then, make that quarterback have a few little, stutter steps in the pocket. He's thinking about it every now and then, and he floats one out there. That's gonna be a scary defense to put up with, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's gonna be able to do with those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And someone commented earlier that I was highlighting, but Mason's a player's coach. Yeah. And I think for all the good things that Kevin Steele did, Kevin Steele was just a very straightforward about business, and there's nothing wrong with that. But again, you have a person who is a stickler for details, very detail oriented, and is actually someone who is just fun to be around, high energy. I mean, again, that's going to be something. Shout out. That's going to be somebody that kids are going to look forward to wanting to play for, especially if you're seeing the results on the field. Right. And what I like also about Mason and what Harsin has done is that on the defensive side of the ball, you already have three guys who have been coordinators before.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at guys who can bring some fresh ideas, guys who can figure out ways to bring pressure. One of the things that frustrated me with Kevin Steele as we got towards the end of his tenure is that we saw the blitz coming. Like we knew when the blitz was coming, right? Because we couldn't generate pressure up front, and it was the same type of blitz. And if we could see it, then you better believe the opposing team was able to see it. Right. And so I just like that you got guys who have ran defenses, who can bring ideas and who can help Mason just be creative. I'm also looking forward to seeing him mixing up coverages in the secondary. You know, we were just strictly man. Shout out. We were strictly man a lot of times. You know, I'm looking to see us
a ton of blitzing. Oh my God, so much blitzing.
Leaving our guys on the island. So I'm looking forward to seeing our secondary mix some things up and play different coverages.
Yeah, one of the things that I like about the possible scheme change too, somebody said something in the comments. I want to go find that where they said if we can keep, there we go, just keep the offensive line off of our inside linebackers.
Yeah.
One of the things that you're going to get with a change in the way that the front, if they're going to be two gapping up front, their responsibility is to lock in with a guy and hold and wait like that. So it's not just shooting a gap, right? And so that actually helps you to make sure that offensive lineman is maintaining that block on that defensive lineman a little bit longer, right? So if you're not just shooting the gap, and if you guess wrong, you know, the play is going to be going. So the inside linebackers, I was looking at, I forgot what I was reading about. What Mason tends to do is have his linebackers lined up a couple of yards deeper than what you would typically have.
5 to 7 yards as opposed to like
3 to 4,
3 to 5.
It's about that. So it's like 1 or 2 yards further off of the line of scrimmage, which allows them to analyze the play a little bit. And now, you know, they talked about it in the article saying that you're likely going to give up, you know, more kind of like small incremental gains against you. So if you have a really patient play caller who's willing to just take that, appreciate that, Walt.
Love the competition.
Yeah.
I feel like this is an auction. What you got, Corey?
Yeah.
Got 10 9.
Lots of development going on there.
Having that happen, I think is going to allow your inside linebackers a lot of freedom. And when you have guys, Zakoby McClain was already a tackling machine with having to take on a bunch of blocks. If you give him more opportunity to just roam free, that might be scary. Owen Pabot is one of the fastest linebackers in college football. Yeah. You give him the opportunity to just roam free.
Yeah.
Listen, Chandler Wooten and McClain are two guys who I'm looking at on the inside who, if the D-line does their job, I'm expecting those kids to just have a monster season playing downhill. Because when we saw Zakoby McClain play free and he was flying to the ball, like he was making, like he was amazing. So
hell, guys, it's just because it's a Wednesday. Hell, I love Corey. Corey's
good people.
Yeah, I like chopping it up with Corey over on the Brain Jury. You guys are silly as hell. Anyway, you're right. McClain always found his way to the ball. He finds his way to the ball a lot.
Got a nose for the ball.
I'm checking for Handy.
Okay,
I'm checking for Handy.
I was excited for the flashes. He flashed.
Where do you see Handy being? Is he going to be? You see him as a D lineman with his hand in the dirt? You think he's going to be outside?
I don't want to call it. I just want to see what Mason's going to do with him.
I'm just excited about who's going to end up on the inside because those are your headhunters in this defense, right? So I'm just excited what. I think the D line is going to be like we got a lot of talent, man.
Can you imagine KJ Britt in a defense like this, as downhill as he is? Oh my God, he'd have been destroying people in this defense.
Yeah. I would have loved to have seen him stay another year.
Yeah, it would have been a sight to see. But again, tons of talent. Recruiting was not an issue, so maybe we'll actually keep these kids. The kids we do start losing, I want to start losing them to the NFL, kind of like what Bruce is doing in basketball. He's losing guys, but he's not losing them to transfer. He's losing them to the NBA. Mm-hmm. So, come on, Harsin, man, let's go. Let's get our weight up and get this thing going.
So Steven's asking, speaking with linebackers, any thoughts on Dylan Brooks?
Listen, the number 18 overall recruit as rated by ESPN, guys.
We talked about this a little bit on our last Facts and All. You guys make sure you go check that out.
I'm telling you, this kid is legit. I don't know why the other recruiting services had him rated so low in their rankings, but I watched his tape, man. He is a man that will move some stuff. Ooh, Walt Taylor. Listen, man. This is
full Mason zone blitz. Look, Walt came. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know where you work, bro, but you out here dropping. You know what I'm saying?
It's that insider too, and then you got him. Just become an insider, and you got him.
All of the smoke, Corey.
Yeah. Oh man, somebody's doing well in the pandemic. So we I here trying to pay the light bill. So I just think when you look at it, there's just so much opportunity this spring, and we're just a couple weeks away now. I think practices start on Tuesday the 16th. Anthony Grant. If y'all don't know Anthony's been riding with us for a really long
time, bro. Like
that's a day one. He's a day one.
Yeah, like
for sure.
Yeah, he's a day one.
I don't even like if I know you personally, Anthony, then I don't know that I know you, but you've been
Alabama
rocking with us.
prep.
Like,
I see you, buddy.
I
see you, buddy.
Way to get your weight up.
Signing up, you know what I'm saying? But like you've been rocking with us, strong for a minute, man. We remember you, chiming in on Facebook. You didn't join the YouTube gang now, but we appreciate you very much, sir.
Right, yeah. And we've got some big things planned for you guys. Hey,
Tori, what's up,
Tori
man?
Dixon.
So that's my guy right there from down at the Plains.
Fellow classmate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So we've got some things planned. We're here, and to the extent that you guys continue to support us, you're going to be. If you've liked what you've seen so far, just wait. Hold my beer.
We got some,
right.
Here's the thing, man. We put out content. I think the thing that I love the most about doing this, and I'm gonna give another appeal. I apologize, guys. I'm gonna get on this for a second. Listen, man. This is a passion of mine. The War Report is a passion of mine, so I enjoy talking about this.
Love it.
My guy. My wife's a Bammer too, so I feel you.
Love it.
Man, for as much content as we drop on you guys every week, and let's be clear, this is no shade to any other guys. We are the most consistent content droppers of Auburn content on the web as far as YouTube shows go. We're dropping content on you guys consistently, and it's quality every time. Again, hey, listen, I got to toot our own horn for a minute. It's quality every time. But this ain't even the tip of the iceberg. I promise you, we have so much more stuff that we already have in the plans that we're going to do, that we're already working on. Chop It Up with a Pro, we just brought you something new with that. We're going to continue to roll those out. We got more stuff that we're going to hit you with in the fall. I promise you have not seen anything yet. So all the support that y'all are giving us right now is helping us to continue to expand this brand. Again, we are an actual company now. Like, I just love the fact that we're out here doing real business and real work. And there's a lot of people trying to do this, but they just can't quite do it the way we do it. Again, I'm sorry if that sounds biased, but it is what it is. We love y'all, and I have so much fun coming in here and just chatting with y'all here on Sundays and Wednesdays, man. I'm gonna love doing this during the season. When we get ready to do this, through the games where we're killing the other team, hopefully game one against Akron, we just get to come in here and talk about how we just demolished this other team. And then the rough games that we're going to have in the season, we're going to get to come in here and bitch together. I'm going to enjoy every minute of that, man. So we appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, man, for so. Yeah, I think you guys, the Patio Prophet.
Joining the team, you know what I'm talking about. You know what? Yeah. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Love that we don't sugarcoat it. Facts are facts. That's exactly what it is, Wesley. We appreciate that.
And we live by the motto of facts over feelings.
But we respect your opinion. Just bring some facts with it. That's all I'm asking. Right? Again, like I said, stop thinking with your feelings and watch the tape. And that's all we want to do in here. You know what JG said? I'm jealous of you guys because you can kind of say what you want to say.
Yeah.
So why I like not being media. Corey Weber, finally, my man.
Got you.
Yes, my man. Thank you for joining.
My guy.
So
Jeb said, how do you become a member? You must have just jumped in just late because Mike G went over this. We will do another one just for you, and I'm going to let you finish, Mike G. But listen, if you want to become a member, it's right there in your YouTube screen when you are on our channel. There's a little button up there by subscribe that says join, unless you are looking at it from an iPhone. If you're looking at it from an iPhone, you got to log on to a computer to do this because iPhone, unfortunately, Tim Cook is not showing us no love. Tim! You an Auburn guy. You need to stop these people from not having so much trouble getting us in here, man. But yeah, iPhone won't let you do it from the phone. But if you are on the web or you are on an Android device, you can just hop straight in there, click the join button, and you can decide which level you want to do, just like Walt Taylor just did.
Hey,
you know what I'm talking about? Walt coming up in here with money bagging tonight. You understand what I'm saying? He out here flossing on y'all. He was like, I can't go to the club, but I can come to Club War Report. I ain't spend a couple racks tonight. You feel what I'm talking about? I feel you, man. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I just think no sunshine pump. That's what
Mario,
we are. Yeah, I mean, if you're watching this for the first time, we're the realist in the fan base. Yeah. And that means two things. But we're the ones
entendre
that say what needs to be said. Right. But some people just can't say. I mean, pro Auburn media, they've got to suckle at the teat or whatever. We don't have to do all that. We're here to just tell you what we see and give you a different perspective and then back that up with facts. So this has been fun. We've been on quite a ride the last 3 months with you guys as we grow, but I can't stress enough. We have some things planned. The War Report is going to be active in the community.
For sure.
As our platform grows, so does our social responsibility. So you guys are also donating to some of the things that we're going to be doing in the community for a good cause. A lot of things going on in the world right now. It's really, really important to be a positive part of the good things that are happening. So shout out to everybody who has been on and been rocking with us. This has been a great ride. So you have to be a member or insider. You have to be an insider.
So you have to be an insider to chat. So here's the thing. We have been opening up the Chop It Up with a Pro segments previously to anybody to watch, but only the chat to our members and insiders. We will be closing that down to where it's only our supporters and insiders that can view it. And then it's going to be an insider only chat, right? So everybody who's been enjoying like just kind of not unlimited, but some more access prior to now, we are going to be shutting that down soon because we do want those Chop It Up with a Pro sessions to be kind of a benefit for those of you who are we want you to get some premium content. So as we start to do that, we're going to continue to grow that out. So we appreciate all of y'all who are signing up. Largwin Taylor just jumped on.
Hey, Largwin, my man.
He's active on Facebook. Tory Dickerson just jumped on. You know, I'm Tom Matt. So we appreciate all of this, man.
Welcome.
Y'all are helping us to grow. And again, for those of you who are deciding you want to spend money with us every month to get content, we want to give you something special. So Chop It Up with a Pro is going to be that first offering that we're giving you. That is going to be something from us to say, hey, get a little money with us. You know what I'm talking about? So
yeah, and we drop on the schedule as well too. So Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, you can expect content from us. To Ike's point, there are a lot of people out here, doing something Auburn related. We support a lot of those other channels. JG Tater's one, Verdon Speaks is another. Chase H, Bubba and the Old Man. Yeah, we support
those are people who have been faithfully supporting us, and we support them as well. I know there's a lot more out there. But those are the ones that I know. I won't say personally, but I've at least had conversations with them off of camera. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely appreciate those folks.
Right. We don't pretend to have sources about stuff we don't know about. Right. We're not trying to bring you breaking the scoop. We're not trying to break the scoop.
We ain't no chatty patties.
We're not a rumor mill.
It's facts over feelings. We're gonna talk about what we see.
Blake out there flexing with his custom emoji. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if Mike knew I threw that one out there.
No, I did not.
Emojis in there. So yeah, that's one of the things. If you're one of the insiders or supporters, you can actually throw the custom emoji out there in the chat. So,
oh man, listen.
Thomas Sanders got a question. Listen, Thomas, that's a great question.
Ooh. You gotta wait on that answer though a little bit. Because we're gonna be doing a position group breakdown. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, but
the more we know, the more film we see, we'll be able to answer some of those questions.
Yeah. So I think that Largwin, we ain't doing this tonight. We're not doing it. We ain't doing it.
Bo is going to play for Auburn this year. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
How much and at what position and all that is yet to be seen, but he will have an Auburn jersey this year. How about that?
Yeah. So
y'all.
I can't even put that comment up. I won't do that. That's straight shade.
Okay, y'all. Yeah.
But Yeah, like I said,
I just read what y'all are talking about.
You know what? You
I
know
can't
y'all
put that
on one tonight.
I can't put that comment up. I mean, but I will say this because I'm petty. I watch a lot of Auburn stuff on YouTube because I'm always interested in what others have to say, and I'm interested in what their listeners say as well too.
Right.
You know, I like to get the beat of the fan base and see what people are thinking, and to see what ideas kind of carry over. And some people are doing their listeners a real disservice. I'll just say that much. Like some of the stuff I hear, I'm like, what? Like, do you even watch? Do you even football, bro? Like, what the hell?
Listen, Levine Dixon, if you were an insider or a supporter, you would have seen our Facts or Nah that has already dropped out there. We will be talking about this. It's going to release to everybody on Friday. We discussed this very topic in Facts or Nah, so you will have to go ahead and get in that.
Yeah.
You know
It was.
like, listen,
we talked
man,
about JJ.
I promise y'all, man, we're doing everything. Okay, hold on. I missed this one right here. Get that merch popping. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all go on, get in there and get y'all little merch.
And be patient with our shipping providers because of what happened in Texas. A lot of mail was slowed, and some of this stuff comes out of Texas, ships out of Texas. So just we appreciate your patience if you've ordered some merch and you're still waiting on it.
Yes, Felix, I saw you went ahead and got that merch in recently. Felix got him a hoodie, man. If I had a picture, I just throw it up there for y'all. See Felix flexing in his merch.
Felix was definitely flexing in his hoodie. So we appreciate his support. He's been with us all the time. We don't always agree, man, but we love Felix.
Yeah.
So I think that I think where we're at right now as a team, you know, in terms of coaching, you know, what we're going to be doing differently on defense. I think that Harsin can produce a championship defense here in less than a year.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, with the way the schedule sets up, he's got a chance to do something really good. 2 games on the road tested Penn State, you know, another cupcake, and then you open SEC play in October. It sets up well for them to figure some things out.
Yeah.
And then, I'm not sunshine pumping it. I'm just saying this is a good schedule.
Yeah.
Right. Bama and Georgia at home. You know, you got some things going on. Hey, Jeff Shaner.
Listen, man. Y'all giving us so much love tonight, man.
I'm loving you guys, man.
Right. So
that's what's up. Keep rocking the merch, man. Appreciate that, man.
So yeah, I just think we've got some he could put together a championship defense with the pieces that we have now. You know, and some of these kids that jump like Big Cat, like I wonder how, you know, he would take plays off sometimes, and he, you know, I wonder what having some of that attitude gone is going to do for the morale of the team as well too. Guys who were supposedly leaders, you know, or they were big names at least, and not having them here may free mental space for these guys to reset and do some things. Bob Edwards. Listen, Bob is one of our most active commenters as well, too. I love it. We love comments. We answer comments just in case.
We might need to do this in one of our Facts or Not segments. I like this question a lot.
Yo, if you have Twitter, definitely tweet this to us for sure. We want you to get credit for this because I'll actually like this question. Yeah. So if you're on Twitter, please tweet us. So we want to bring all that information to the end of the show.
Hashtag Facts or Not. Throw that out there to us on
Please
Twitter.
do. I like that one.
A lot of people scared to schedule that game. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's game 1 for UCF next year.
Something you just said, Mike. What do we think about players about a lot of the players? I mean,
listen. Now we hold on, B. We are in no sunshine pump zone, right? But we love Casey, and Casey loves the War Report. You saying, can we play Gus so we can show him how bad of a coach he is in every area?
Oh my God! Hey, listen, Casey hates Gus,
but loves Auburn, which is
loves
wonderful.
Auburn, but hates Gus.
And hate is not a strong enough
Lance.
word, right? Casey dislikes Gus and will tell you, "Hey, how's the sunshine? How's the weather outside?" I ain't Gus. that's Casey. So I wish Gus well. I do. I don't care to play him. I just hope that he does whatever he's going to do, and I hope everybody who followed him down there finds success for their sake.
Yeah.
Right. I want Gus to succeed because his failure is not just his failure. It's everybody. It's families and lives and that can't be understated.
Right.
You know, when he left Auburn, a lot of things left with him, and so some of those things were good. So yeah, we hope that Gus is successful.
Yeah, absolutely,
Anyway,
absolutely.
What were you about to say, B. Will? My bad.
Go ahead, B.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so Big Cat transferred to UCF. Nate Craig Myers transferred to UCF. AUB 117. Thank you. What's his name? Mark Anthony Richards transferred to UCF, right? So what it makes me want to know is, man, it's tough seeing that because you feel like, hey, Mark Anthony Richards, we were short on running backs. Did you have something against the new staff? Did you not want to give it a shot? Because the guy who had you on the bench, I don't know. And I guess that's another part of that dynamic. Did you sit because Gus wanted you to get more reps, or we had a better back in front of you and go to UCF because there isn't a better back in front of you? Or did you go there because you knew you weren't going to get the most snaps here? It makes me question. I think some of the things that we saw about Gus's administration was it bore out that there was underdevelopment in a lot of places, that there was poor evaluation in a lot of places. And so far, the only thing that I can say for sure is that going there, those guys instantly become the most talented guy at their position. And so it's a shoe-in that you're going to get the snaps, you're going to get to produce. If you can produce, you're going to be playing against worse competition than you played at here. And so, yeah, you're in the running to put some good film together and get some good snaps. But like Mike was saying with Big Cat, man, I guess I don't want to say I didn't like Big Cat. I didn't think he produced as much as he should have produced. I don't think he earned the star rating, didn't match up with the production, especially on the other side. When you were sharing a line with Derrick Brown and Marlon Davidson, and you were still, not getting enough pressure on the quarterback. He got in the area. He played that good man defense on the quarterback, but he didn't get contact on the quarterback. He didn't get sacks on the quarterback. And so much of that makes me go, all right, well, when he was trying to transfer, he was trying to go to Tennessee because that's where I think a former high school coach that he had went. No other SEC school wanted you. No other Big Ten school wanted you. So you had to go to UCF. You're muted, Ike, by the way.
It was rumored that Oklahoma was looking at him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
I did hear that.
From Oklahoma. So I just think, man, I understand going where you want it. If you like Gus, it's like we all thought and like we heard after, Gus is going to root for you and he's going to put you out there maybe sometimes if you don't deserve to be, just because he knows you and trusts you more. But I hope those guys get what they need there. That's all I hope. I hope everybody who has the talent to play at the next level or who has the potential to play at the next level gets what they need from the staff. Now, defense, I trust more because I do trust T. Will and what he can do as a D coordinator. Even though he's never done it, I still trust him. I know enough about him to know that he can do that job. The other people, I hope they get what they're going there for. That's all I can say about that. Yeah, that's all I can say. About
We'll see. Yeah. We will definitely see.
Yeah, I wish him well. I think if you're Richards, you're going somewhere where Gus has his favorites.
That's true.
Gus plays who he knows, who he's familiar with. So I think it may work out for him, and he's closer to home. So I just hope I hope it works out. Again, our issues with Gus, and we talk about issues with Gus because we haven't seen a down yet of this Bryan Harsin era. But I'm hoping that as we get further into spring, into fall camp, we're talking less and less about Gus. And I just hope Gus does well with what he's doing down in Orlando. But I'm with Bryan Harsin, and I like what I see. I'm happy. Listen, I don't want to say the future is bright, too much reminiscent of that other guy, but again, we looking forward, man. So that's all I got to say about those guys. Good luck. Wish them well.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Cleveland, for the super chat. He would definitely run a running back into the ground. It's the Trey Mason. Ain't built like Trey Mason.
Yes, Trey Mason syndrome, man.
So. Yeah, and Trey was real. Listen, real. Trey took the load every night and just kept going. He was Yeah, right. He was just an incredible running back. Shut up. And so Gus Trey was a machine in some ways.
Yeah.
Right. And just every guy is not going to be that way. I thought that Kerryon Johnson had too much of an upright kind of running style to run him the way we did. He ran the ball like Todd Gurley to me. Prone to knee injuries. Like it just felt like. I hope that Harsin could do something different here, man. And again, more balance should mean more opportunity, on fewer touches. But again, everybody's getting more opportunities because we are balanced and we have defenses off balance, right? So yeah, I'm really excited to see. Bob, I am in Arlington, Virginia. So yes. Absolutely. But yeah, I really like what we're doing. This coaching staff, he's put together a somewhat diverse coaching staff as well, too. They're doing some things in that department. Somebody asked a question earlier about analysts. Listen, these are the underrated positions at bigger programs that win. Winning programs have good analysts that come through that go on to be coaches, right? They get their shot eventually, or they step up into assistant coach jobs because the coaches graduated, in part because the analysts do such a good job giving them all the information they need to put together a good game plan. And it's hard to be CEO when you're washing dishes every night. And when you're getting something started, I understand putting in the elbow grease, but at some point, once your thing grows into a machine, you cannot afford the mental capital it takes to pay attention to the minutia. You need good people to do things for you so you can be big picture, right? And big picture for Bryan Harsin is winning. Right. That's it. Yeah. Get the best talent and win with that talent. That's it. The rest takes care of itself. And then and put your energy into finding the people that will free your mental capacity to be able to chase championships.
That's the number one recruiting that a head coach needs to do.
Exactly.
The position coaches
need your staff.
The bulk of the recruiting. The head coach comes in and finishes the deal. You have to tell the guys who have the best acumen, the best eye, the best development, the best technical skills. Can you come work for me because you're fantastic and I need you here and we're going to be winners here. And so far, it seems like he's doing that.
Yeah, I saw Uzi ask a question about the 247.
Y'all want to tackle this tonight?
Nah, we gonna talk about that Sunday. Yeah, we definitely saw the article, Uzi, about Tank and his rating as the number 5 running back in the SEC. We will talk about that ad nauseum on the tailgate on Sunday for sure. But we did not talk about that tonight, to answer your question.
Number 5 in the SEC, not even the country. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. We already kind of running late tonight. We need more time.
I'm gonna hold my tongue on that one.
We need more time to discuss that.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are just but you know what? Here's the deal.
I like the motivation. He's got motivation.
Casey with the petty drop right here, 45 to
so
nothing
petty.
UCF in the first game.
Yeah, listen, I think that where our expectations have been at as fans in general. Our feelings are inconsistent because the result has been inconsistent. Yeah. Think about the losses, right? Like, think about things like what was your least favorite year in Auburn football over the last 8 years? I'm sure you have a few that qualify. Mm-hmm. Right. If you're an Ohio State fan or a Bama fan or, a fan of any school that's been getting their share of championships over the last 10 years, that's not really a thought. It's just like, you're probably talking about what your favorite season was in the last 8 years. We're sitting here talking about what season did I hate the most? 2015, just in case anybody was wondering, but 2015. I just think Harsin, again, if they let him do it, and if he can win and win immediately and win big and start beating Georgia, let's just start with beating Georgia. He can't hurt you anymore. I'm dead.
This is actually kind of funny too, low key. Give him a couple of field goals. We was good for that down the stretch.
Yeah, right. I mean, there was some.
He's not gonna have a Legatron or Legatron Junior though, so I don't know. We'll see.
That's true.
See if we can recruit some kickers down there to UCF. I saw a hype video UCF put out with Gus in it. Listen, man, it was soft as cookie dough, right? Listen, this thing was so lame. I don't know if they had salsa music to it or something. Somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. I saw it on Twitter. UCF put out a hype video with Gus talking.
It was just a bunch of like
they were introducing him.
Cheerleaders and baton twirling.
Yo,
and
listen,
stuff. I don't know.
listen, y'all are wilding in these comments, man.
Listen, man.
Listen, man, y'all lit up off of Casey. Casey has gone through trauma. You don't talk bad about people who have gone through traumatic experiences. Right. Casey, we feel you.
Right.
We feel you.
This is a safe space for us to express our feelings about that. Okay.
Casey, man, that hype video was soft as pancake batter, man. And then when you compare that to the hard work video Auburn Media put out, I was like, oh man, listen, this is definitely a new era. It is definitely a new era. So I am jacked up, man. Harsin has got, the Harsenal, right? Like we're gonna see what he has in the Harsenal this spring. And after it's over, well, we're gonna go back in to evaluate.
Are you trying to scare Casey James? Is that what's going on here? You're trying to make. Listen, man. Are you going through like retired war veterans neighborhoods and just shooting pistols in the air? What is going on with you, James?
Yeah,
it's not okay.
We're just trying to just straight trigger. This is what we're going for now at this point.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, get your weight up. That's where we're at right now.
That's the new saying there.
Yeah, get your weight up. So
somebody bringing stats to the party. See, I see Wesley bringing stats to the party. 4 years, 53. Think about that for a second. Wesley, while you're out there pulling up stats, I want you to pull up how many tackles Zacoby McClain had.
There you go.
Last year. Last year. I don't want to know how much he had a freshman year. Just last year. Big Cat in 4 years had 53 tackles. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
This boy got put on skates so much.
Yeah, he was habitually out of position, right? Like
Big Cat was a big ice dancer out there for the vast majority. Listen, I'm not gonna bash nobody. Y'all already got on to me for calling Shedrick Stonehands. I'm not gonna give nobody else no nicknames this year.
That was funny though.
But I saying,
like Stonehands. That was funny.
I mean,
and he must have heard you because he started catching everything thrown his way.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe.
Well, that was all of 2 passes.
Y'all was silly, man. Y'all are real silly. It's funny. Anthony Grant says Vernon Speaks put up a video about how he was always out of position. Yes, I saw it. He did put up a video. As a matter of fact, I think that's what made me think about it subconsciously. I watched that video and it was ridiculous. All that was missing was the clown music. It was awful. So
okay, thank you, Wesley.
He already got it. He already got it.
Total, okay. And he had more tackles in one season.
Was that
Big Cat had?
Was that last year?
He said for 2020.
For 2020, yeah. In 1 year.
In one season, he doubled this man up.
4 years.
That's sad, bro.
Man, that was
Caesar's got to go verify. He's like, this can't be.
Yeah, right. Pro football focus.
Somebody else just said it. 102 for Zacoby.
Yep.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
One season. Hold on. Somebody says Zacoby had 57 solo tackles. So just solo tackles so you're in one season.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
Just solo tackles in 1 year is more than this man had for his entire career at Auburn. Yeah. And Big Cat was getting playing time from a freshman. This ain't like he just started playing last year. Yeah. He was getting snaps freshman year.
He shared a line with the 2 best defensive linemen we've had in the last 8 years.
You had the chance to be so okay. I'm not gonna go on a Big Cat. Y'all already tell us we bash players too much on the listen.
You doubled your career.
No, not players, just a certain quarterback.
No, not players. Saying, though. Not players.
Exactly. I don't bash any player. I'm just telling you, if you go and look at the tape, This man physically should have been dominating out there, and he was on skates for 4 years.
Yeah,
that 4 years of being on skates
because people were eating in that defense, so that was not about coaching.
Yo, listen, listen.
Yeah, wow. So, yeah, I would just say I hope that
we can definitely compare positions. Okay, so why is it that he only had, how many sacks did he have? Because if we want to compare positions, linebackers do get free runs, but your entire job is containment. You're playing in a league. Okay, so listen, you're playing in a league right now in the SEC that has a bunch of spread teams, right? So your job is, number one, containment coming off of the DN. Number two, it's quarterback pressures and sacks, right? He failed in both of those because often what Big Cat would do is take the wrong angle to the quarterback. So he was getting juked out of his shoes when he would get to the point of attack. Number two, he didn't set the edge very much because he was too impatient to be able to do that.
Right.
Number three, he was never actually getting any real sacks because, again, he was getting juked out of his shoes on a consistent basis. So if we want to talk about his ability to get tackles, you cannot underscore the fact that he played with two pro caliber defensive linemen on the interior, and he was constantly getting soloed and still was not able to get tackles. I'm sorry. You can say what you want to about Zacoby McClain being in a more opportune position to get more tackles because he was a linebacker. There is no reason why Big Cat's production is not better considering who he was playing with his first 2 years and then his last 2 years that he was there. Now, last year he was hurt, so I can give him a pass on that right there. But you can't tell me that production is acceptable for a guy who has the talent that he has and as many snaps as he was able to play. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we didn't ruin.
We can compare positions if we want to. I'm telling you that production is poor for a guy who played for 4 years.
We didn't ruin Big Cat
and played on some dominant defenses with guys who clearly took the pressure off of him, and Marlon Davidson and Derrick Brown. He should have been cleaning up.
Yeah.
So
listen, trash is a strong word. Again,
I'm not saying he was trash. I'm just saying he didn't live up to the potential he had.
He had some production. It's just
he played like trash sometimes. Yeah.
It was a fair statement. Carl Lawson is a great example of a guy who came off of the edge and was dominant for all the time. Now, he was hurt a lot, but his production was better, even though he was out of position a lot. So it's not just by virtue of where he's playing in the defense. It's about your ability to get to the ball carrier. He did not do that consistently.
Power was unreal. Carl Lawson's power and his ability to get past the tackle with moves and with hands was much better. I didn't see half of the skill of the hand skill that Carl Lawson possessed. I didn't see that from Big Cat.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, this is not trying to bash a player.
He just never lived up to his potential.
If we want to, the first time I get an opportunity to get a defensive lineman, we can go in and we can go do a whole cut up of defensive line stuff, and we can talk about that with Big Cat if we want to. He's not on the team anymore, so I really don't care to chop up his film. But I'm just telling you, I'm not just out here trying to trash a guy because he's not on the team anymore. It is what it is, bro.
Yeah. And hopefully he figures it out at UCF, man. That's all I can say about him. Hopefully he figures it out, but he came in with much fanfare and just didn't produce like we hoped he would.
Yeah. I mean, again, wish him well. But I don't think there were a lot of players that Auburn hurt. I don't think Big Cat was one of them, right? Like there were a lot of players that the system. I'm still not sold on like Byron Cowher. We're split on that as a show. But I just feel like that he was still good enough to go play for the league and get sacks to the Patriots. So why couldn't we get the most out of what was the number one overall recruit in the country at the time that we recruited him? It was a big get. I remember the scene of Gus high-fiving people, when Byron committed to us over Florida.
Right.
And then transferred out. Why?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. So development. We just need to see this new coach come in, develop some guys, put everybody in a position to win. And then, these guys that left and went other places, I wish them well, but there's some things that aren't about the system. It's about you. A lesson that I teach, some of the kids I mentor is that you are the common denominator in every situation you find yourself in.
Right.
So check you first. You know, and that's why part of the reason why we're so hard on Bo. You know, everybody out here making excuses and they want to put bubble wrap around his feelings. No, man, like, listen, you are the quarterback. You will take you'll take a lot of praise when it goes well, but you will take a disproportionate amount of the blame when it does not go well. That's true for every quarterback, not just him.
Right.
You know, so we need coaches who know how to develop solid mental fortitude as well as physical strength, so that they can go out there and do the things they need to do. You know, they say quarterbacks need to have a short memory. Forget that interception and go out and make a good pass the next time. Forget that sack and go in and stand in the pocket. Right. I was watching some tape of that 2004 season.
Hey, Wesley, you might be you ain't dropped.
You stat guy right here.
You know, like you come in here with a lot of valuable things here tonight. You know, you're dropping bread. You out here giving us stats. Wesley is an all-star in the comment section right now.
Well, listen to some of these people I argue with every day. Say it. The stats don't mean nothing. Stats don't tell the whole story. Well, they tell a lot of it.
Yeah, they don't tell the whole story. That's true, but they do tell a story.
Yeah,
what story are they telling?
Yeah, well, it just depends on
because it means something.
It just depends on who's reading it when it comes to the stats, right? You know, that's what I look at. So, you know, I just think, you know, when you look at this thing, man, we've got a really good opportunity. Our coaches have been just, I think, on fire in terms of motivation and what they're kind of putting out there. Like, listen, if they're snake oil salesmen, they're doing a great job, because right now, I think a lot of fans are starting to get excited, and the only ones who are not are the ones who were Gus apologists and are secretly hoping for Harsin to fail. They exist. Right.
Yeah, and that hurts me, man. I love Gus that much that they want to see the next guy fail.
Yeah.
I just gotta, I gotta question just your love for the university. No one person is bigger than the school. Do you love Auburn? Because my thing is, coaches come and go, like they're employees, right? Mm-hmm. Your love and devotion should be to Auburn, you know, and whoever comes in should love Auburn enough to where they're willing to do their best for Auburn. Right. And we got someone who's doing things that the previous coaching staff wasn't, and I'm looking to see that translate into the field. And if we love Auburn, man, it's a good time to be an Auburn fan, because in less than 2 weeks, we're going to see what we hope to be a better product, looking to see some guys who've been buried on the depth chart get a chance to prove themselves, seeing competition, seeing coaching, seeing development, seeing all these things that we've been clamoring for. We're about to see that. So it's a great time to be an Auburn fan, man. I'm a War Eagle. I'm excited about it, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Mike,
right, man,
take us out, man.
So again, we had a lot of people sign up tonight. I'm completely humbled and overwhelmed by all the support.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Great. We're going to continue to bring you guys good content, and we drop on a schedule. So we took this week off of building rapport, but we'll be back at you guys next week. So Sundays, weekend tailgate, Monday, building rapport, Wednesday, war room, Thursdays, every other Thursday, chop it up with a pro, and Friday, facts or not, like clockwork. If you want early access to content, or you want to be a part of the chop it up with the pros, I'm stressing later, these chop it ups will become exclusive to insiders only. So if you are a supporter and you still want to be able to even view those, we don't post them after because of the film reviews. But you're going to see that and participate. You can upgrade to an insider, at any point. We have our merch stores live. Everybody's getting their merch. I'm super psyched about everybody sending us pictures of them wearing their hoodies and hats and drinking from their mugs. It's super awesome to see that. So, next Thursday, we've got our Chop It Up with a Pro with Devin Aroma Shadu. Him and Ike and I are going to be taking your questions, talking. I mean, that is purely engagement for you guys. And then the Thursday after, 2 weeks from that Thursday, we will do another Chop It Up with Devin, where we actually will do a film review and break down wide receivers. And I think you're going to want to see that one. On the last one with King Dunlap, we did offensive line. And it was just, again, watching the thing in slow-mo was surreal, seeing, an NFL 9-year vet break down, this is what this guy's supposed to do. This is his assignment. He's got to do this. The coaches have to fix this. I mean, a lot of these guys are so good with the analytics because of how they had to watch it, in the league,
Right.
You know, their film reviews were intense because they're millionaires. They get paid a lot of money to do this, and so they're donating their time to come here. Hey, shout out Coach C4, he upgraded. They're donating their time to come here and do this with us because of the relationships that we have with them, and we want to share that with you. So we really appreciate that support. You know, the last thing I'll say is if you go to the About section on our page, we do have a GoFundMe. I love all the super chats. YouTube takes a cut. So if you want to support us on another level, you can go to that GoFundMe as well and drop us a dime there. And for every dollar you give to the War Report, we are giving you something back with quality content, baby. So we appreciate you guys.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, Paul giving that last minute jump
Paul.
up in there.
Y'all showed out tonight. We appreciate
that, man. This has been amazing, man. Amazing. Listen, guys,
Love all
always
the Mike G faces. Love all the Mike G faces in the look, before you say that, I gotta tell you this, Caesar. Like, again, as our platform grows and we're getting somewhat accustomed to becoming public figures, it is wild to me to read my name mentioned in comment sections on other videos. Right. And there was this one guy and he was mad at Vernon for something. And he just threw me in there with it. He was like, if you and Mike G don't cut this crap out, Bo's going to go to UCF. And I was like, what I had to do with it? Right. I had talked like, right. But he just threw me in there. So we appreciate the enthusiasm that you guys have.
You should have commented back and told them, don't threaten me with a good time.
I know, right? I was laughing at that, but to the extent that you guys actually tune in and listen to what we say, I mean I appreciate that so much. We enjoy being able to share our opinions with you guys. It's never personal. It's always about play, and it's always fun at the end of the game. We all want Auburn to win at the end of the day. We do.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We're just not gonna come up here and tell you they are when they aren't. So anyway, take us out.
Listen, guys, please do the necessary, like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You know where to find us. Also, guys, you can find us at The War Report on Twitter and IG. We are TW Report at TikTok. Guys, we're signing off. And as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.